Most founders assume they need the right strategy for things to take off. But what if the thing holding you back isn't your plan? It's a specific and usually hidden kind of limiting belief. Reading The Big Leap by Hendricks completely opened my eyes to how that belief was silently sabotaging my growth. I've used these ideas to build Perimeter, a public safety startup now serving millions of people across the US. In this video, I'm breaking down 3 key takeaways I use all the time and how to apply them to whatever you're building. Hendricks argues that most high performers aren't stuck because they lack opportunity. They're stuck because they hit an internal ceiling on how much success, joy, or ease they're willing to let in. He calls this the upper limit problem, and it's subtle. You finally get the promotion, the investor, or the traction you've been waiting for, and suddenly you're picking fights or overcommitting or delaying the thing that was gaining momentum. Hendricks says it might not feel like sabotage in the moment. It just feels like things and life are getting hectic. But once you start noticing the pattern, you can trace it back to something deeper, a set of unconscious beliefs you hadn't even realized you were carrying. In this book, he outlines 4 beliefs that often hold us back from fully stepping into success. The first is this idea that I'm fundamentally flawed. This might sound like, I'm not good enough to be the successful, happy, or loved. It's the deep down belief that there's something inherently wrong with you. So when things start going right, your subconscious kicks in and says, this can't last, I don't deserve this. And without realizing it, you might start sabotaging your success just to match that old self-image. The second belief is this idea that I'm disloyal if I grow. This might show up as the idea that if I succeed more, I'll lose the people I love. It's the belief that growing, whether financially, emotionally, spiritually, means leaving others behind. So you stay small, not because you lack ambition, but because some part of you feels like it's the only way to stay connected to your roots. The third belief is this idea that success will be a burden. The thought might be, if I go any further, I won't be able to handle it. You might be afraid that more growth means more stress, or more responsibility, or less freedom. So you unconsciously keep your success at a safe, manageable level just to avoid overwhelm. And the fourth belief is what Hendricks calls the crime of outshining. The thought might be, it's wrong to shine too brightly, especially around people that I care about. Maybe you learned early on that your success made other people uncomfortable, so you dimmed your light to make sure no one felt overshadowed. But as an adult, that same pattern can stop you from owning your strengths or stepping into your full potential. Once you start to recognize which of these beliefs might be silently operating in the background, you can stop letting them quietly set your limits. That's the first step in taking the big leap, replacing old assumptions with a new capacity for success. Okay, that was a lot, but now that you've addressed the patterns that are holding you back, Hendricks says the next step is deciding what to grow into. He breaks work into 4 zones. The zone of incompetence, these are things that you're just not good at. The zone of competence, things you can do, but others could do them easily just as well as you. The zone of excellence, which is things you're great at, rewarded for, maybe even known for. And then lastly, the zone of genius, which is work that feels effortless, energizing, and has the highest impact. The trap is that most high performers get stuck in their zone of excellence. It's where everything looks good on paper, but doesn't always feel right. Your zone of genius is different. It's the work only you can do, the work that truly lights you up, even if it's really hard. Tapping into your zone of genius isn't just about doing more of what you're good at, it's about redesigning your life around what deeply fulfills you. Because that's where the real momentum and sustainable success actually come from. So once you're committed to releasing your upper limiting behavior and entering your zone of genius, you're making the big leap. But the leap isn't something you make once and then you're done. It's something you recommit to over and over again, because every new level of success will bring all these old beliefs back to the surface. So here's a place to start. Hendricks suggests simply writing down a sentence that begins with, I commit to spending more time in my zone of genius by doing XYZ. This tiny action, literally writing it down, might be the first step in taking your big leap. Plus, we are dramatically more likely to achieve something if we actually write it down. So if you feel like you've been working hard, but you still feel like something's capping your progress, or if things look great on paper, but they don't quite feel right, The Big Leap is absolutely worth reading. So now I'm curious. What does taking the big leap look like for you? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to cheer you on. And if you're looking for more mindset shifts that will help you keep going when progress feels impossibly slow, check out my breakdown of The Dip by Seth Godin. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next Thursday.